Thank you. Good evening, everybody. So during the COVID crisis, many countries saw American ships as a threat, only allowed to ensure the supply of the population, then often missed to take into account the social condition of the crew and consequently the risk for safety at sea. Considering the IMO and the European Union recommendations, France searched a well balance between the twice concerns. In La Réunion, several processes were successfully enforced since the 2nd of April, depending on the local sanitary situation and the national confinement regulation. At this time, I'm sorry for the slides, we registered more than 1,100 crew changes since this date, which concern about 1,300 seafarers involved. It means that we had you can see in that we have a peak of activity in July and August, and it was something very loud to manage, about 300 operations a month, including 100 people a day. It was very, very difficult, but now it's about 100 ships and 1,000 seafarers a month, depending on the opening of other airports, I think to look up in South Africa in particular. The sharing of nationalities show, of course, a large part of non-European residents, including many Filipinos and Ukrainians. Europeans are mainly Greek and Croat. I said that the processes change in the time, depending on sanitary situation and confinement. The procedure I'm now talking about is applicable since 6th of July. Legal requirements are divided in two parts, ships and crew. Regarding the vessels, prior to entering French territorial waters, vessels approaching La Réunion are, in order to change the crew or to load, are obliged to ask for a free practice delivery by the sanitary authority in La Réunion. When the crew change is to be operated to and from a vessel at sea, the operator on the crew shall communicate all relevant details on the organization of the transfer in the harbor master and the MRCC. And this process is aiming at ensuring that the crew change will be in the better safety conditions. Weather conditions and traffic may have an influence on the operation, of course. For safety reasons, we decided also that the change shall organize only in daylight hours. So that is to say 1 hour before the night. Requirement applicable to seafarers now. Crew change authorization shall be requested from French authority, which is the MSOI, by means of an application form. You can see one on the right of the slide. Just send us 48 hours before. In addition, and where applicable, the following documents shall be enclosed with the application form: passports for the people residents of non-Schengen area resident, and eventually requirement of French sanitary agency. During the crew transfer, all measures are to be complied with are to be complied with to protect all parties involved in the operation. We settle a one-day sanitary condom. Sorry. We settle on sanitary condom to prevent cross contamination between local and population and crew. So the principle is that the day when you enter in La Réunion is the same day that when you leave it. No stops is allowed between port and airport. With 100 monthly crew changes for 2 months, we may think that the situation is now stable. And I think that it may last for a few months ago. The balance between public health and social demand of companies and crews were successfully realized. So the sanitary risk we took in La Réunion to allow crew changeover always remained under control. In conclusion, we also can lay the emphasis upon 2 points. First, we accepted the challenge of the acceptance of crew changeovers by local population, finally proud to be a world example of welcome. It was not win at first. And second, the economic incomes of the situation, especially for local maritime companies, taxis and buses, and of course, consignatory agencies are valuable. I thank you.